What do you think on that? I want to get your thought on that.
On what? Garage sales?
No, not garage sales.
I love them. Freaking love them.
Like vehicles and stuff like that. When you were younger, you were like, you know, thinking like, when I have friends and I'm going out and partying or I'm doing stuff or whatever, that's when you want the nice things. You know, when I'm older, later in life, who gives a shit what I drive?
So fortunately, I was never really like into cars.
Yeah.
This wasn't my thing. I mean, yes, like I'd like to look at them and they were like, that's awesome, but yeah, I don't know. I can't really remember what I was into. Like, cause surely I was into something.
Yeah.
Like you really like really nice things, like cool shoes or
like
nice
the F-250 you got right now. Whenever you were coming up.
Yeah, when I was coming
like
up.
If you would have been like, damn, I would have been the big shot.
Yeah.
Pulling all the hose. If I would have had that, I would have looked like the shit.
Yeah.
And then thinking like, you know, who cares when I'm 50? I'll have a wife and kids. Who gives a shit what I drive?
Yeah, it's probably to say that I wasn't a car guy is probably not genuine. It's probably that I didn't have the means, and so I was disinterested. And then I really wasn't, my necessity being a carpenter was I needed a truck. And so there was really nice, like that 22-year-old vehicle that's in the parking lot, the big beast, the 7.3. That's what everybody was driving when I was coming up, all the big time guys. And so I was like, oh, that's what I want. I didn't buy it for 15 years, you know, so I didn't pay retail, obviously. But it's a beast, and it's something that's cool. And I mean, I'd like to have a little fun car, maybe. But it's like reinvestment now. I think, what can I do with that money? But I think I was always like, wow, look at that guitar. Like, I want that $2,500 guitar. Totally unreachable. That was something that I had a real passion for, was just the things like that. You know, small, not necessarily huge ticket items, but small enough.
Small high price.
Small high price. They were a big deal. And so, you know. But in my late 20s and early 30s, when I was just starting in the game, I ran out and ran up a bunch of debt on a nice truck. I had a brand new 4-wheel drive, 4-door. It was stupid. I should have never done that. Yeah, you know, but that's what you do when you don't know any better. Now I know better, and I'm trying to tell you guys and everybody else as much as I can about what's a better choice. For me anyway, you know, you can do what you want, but there's better ways to execute on certain things. And I think we're on the right track. I think there's a lot of people that are getting the message, you know, individually, on a small scale. Dave Ramsey, I saw a little post he made, and I had to comment on it because I was like, you know, it was about the tax refunds, income tax time, so everybody was talking about the.
Everybody's gonna be balling.
They're mad. Well, some people are mad about that their tax refund has gotten smaller because of the, you know, the tax breaks, and so he was like, "Hey, dummy, that's your money that you loaned the government for the last 12 months at 0 interest. That's your money, and you're getting it back. And you're excited about it, but now you're griping because you actually got a tax break, so it was less. You paid less tax, but it's still your money." And I commented, I was like, "Dave, you've been saying the same stuff for 25 years. People, and there are still people that haven't heard it, or if they've heard it, they haven't made the connection. That refund is your money." Like, what part of that doesn't resonate? They take the money out, they took too much, they give it back to you. It's your freaking money. And everybody gets all excited about the refunds. Now, there's a lot of situations where people have earned income credits and things like that, but I mean, it's hilarious. So it's a cycle, and people get into it. But you know, I think the delayed gratification is always the best choice. It's just so hard to walk that out. I mean, Hunter, you've been wanting to buy a new truck for a year.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll punch you in the mouth every time you start talking about it. I'm like, no, you don't need to do that, you know? But then you've even had some really good ideas. Like you said, hey, what about buying this house, this rent house?
Yeah, that's what.
And I was like, look, I think that's great, but I think the timing's off.
Yeah.
I think you should grind it out a couple more years where you don't have to borrow any money.
Yeah.
You pay
Oh, really?
cash for that house. That's a game changer, and it's going to take a while.
Yeah,
It's going to take
that's the
patience.
hard thing.
That's
It's
the hard
like,
part.
Shit, I've been waiting so long. You want me to wait?
Because you want it now.
More
Yeah.
years?
Hell yeah,
It's
wait
like,
more years. Yes, absolutely.
Like for people my age, like I've been really damn patient. Now I need to be more patient. Like,
Yeah, I will say for a 25-year-old, you have been extremely patient with a lot of the things that you've been wanting to accomplish, and others,
yeah.
aren't. But you can still exercise even more patience, and that is so hard, but so worth it on the backside, man.
Yeah.
So worth it. All right, let's get in here and get some work done. I gotta go see Miss Kimberly first thing. Grab everything and let's go. Oh, that's not exactly what I had in mind. They brought it all up here. They brought all this over here.
Where was it supposed to go?
It was just supposed to go on the floor at 3:30. Just lay it flat on the floor, make a grid out of it.
Did it come from Westport?
No, it was at 3:30. Over here, Sweet Creek.